Ladies and gentlemen, Malachi's mother is with us here tonight, and she is our keynote speaker. I ask you to please help me enthusiastically welcome from Israel, Sara Rosenfeld.
Thank you. Everyone asked me during the night, how am I? I said I'm okay, but now I'm a bit overwhelmed, excited. Thank you so much. Good that I wrote something, otherwise I couldn't speak, I think. There's a very famous Israeli poet by the name of Zelda. She wrote a beautiful poem, and it starts like this. My well-being is connected by a string to your well-being. In my eyes, these words express accurately the inner meaning of this evening. We live across the ocean, but yet we meet here a few days before Rosh Hashanah, connecting through our hearts and sharing our stories. My private story starts over 50 years ago in Tel Aviv, but actually it starts way back. Both my parents came to Israel from Europe. They both went through the Holocaust as children and knew that life is not something you take for granted. I lost my mother when I was 6 years old. She died while giving birth to my only sister. So I also grew up knowing that life is complicated. When I got happily married and had the privilege of being one of the founders of a new community in Mate Binyamin by the name of Kochav HaShachar, I felt life was good to me. I loved my life. I loved my family and my community. Kochav HaShachar is a beautiful place with a lot of very special good people who live their life based on strong moral ethics. Actually, they became like family to me. I work as a social worker in Binyamin. I am a family therapist and I run a family treatment center there. 14 years ago, our eldest son, Yitzhaki, who was a pilot in the Israeli Air Force, died while traveling with friends in the Yehuda desert. Our life collapsed. Our inner computer crashed. Life was hard to live. We decided to choose life in spite of everything, and with God's help, we had 2 more children. That was our way to show our kids that life is precious. Thank God we have 3 married daughters and grandchildren. Our boys live at home with us and cause us great joy. After Yitzhaki's death, Malachi took over the role as the oldest son. He was very special to his brothers. Malachi was a bright, he was very smart, good-looking young man with a promising future. But what touched our hearts as parents was the way he related to his younger brothers. He always found time for them, played with them, and the age difference between them disappeared. He became the worshipped brother who was taken away from him. A year ago, he was finishing his degree in the Hebrew University in a prestigious program and was on the dean's list. He had been accepted to work at a Deloitte firm. His future really laid brightly ahead. On the evening of June 29th, on his way home from basketball league game, terrorists ambushed the car he was in and shot him and his friends. Malachi died from his injuries the following day. Words can't describe what goes on parents' hearts when their second son is taken away from them. Our life was turned away from us, yet we struggle every day to give our kids and ourselves a normal life. Just 3 weeks ago, we had bar mitzvah for our dearest Aviyah, who was born after Yitzhaki's death. And Baruch Hashem, we all did a good job making him happy. Your hug, your empathy, your support makes us feel not alone. Just knowing that people from so far away care about us is very comforting, and it gives us the strength to get up in the morning and breathe normally. Building this medical center is another way of giving us your hug. As you saw on the film, we live in a very special area, a beautiful, important part of Israel, but we are very far from a place that can give us help when needed. I'm not God, so I really don't know why my son Malachi had to die on the way to the hospital. But I'm a believer. I live my life believing that what has to happen happens. It helps me go on with everyday life. But saying and knowing this does not change the fact that time is a crucial fact in saving lives. Time has the ability to change between life to death. We are standing in the gate of Yamim Noraim. Rosh Hashanah is in front of us, and the famous tefillah of tshuva utfilah utzedakah ma'avirim et roa gzera. I humbly ask you to help us with your tzedakah to build us a place that will give us more security, to feel and to be more guarded. I ask you to help us build a chance for life. Thank you so much for keeping us in your minds and in your hearts. I thank you so much for inviting me to be with you on this special evening. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening to me. This special evening is a way to comfort us on this hard year of ours, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you so much. Shana Tova.